All right, hey everybody, it's Ryan Coisson here, and I'm with Aidan Booth.
Hey guys.
And some of you may know that we've done some products together in the past, and we're just wanting to sit down here and talk a little bit about e-commerce, kind of off the cuff, and some challenges that we see some of our students face, and some of the things that we face in our business, and some of the things that Aidan's doing with his business partner Steve. And one of the things that we've kind of realized is, as you know, we sell tons of products on Amazon, and also we do traditional e-commerce. And one of the biggest questions and the biggest hurdles that people reach out to us and they have is, how do I really start driving more traffic to my products? And the challenge is, as you know, when you're selling on Amazon, it can be a little bit of a challenge to track. And from a paid traffic standpoint, if you don't have tracking in place, it's really hard to measure your results, and you're kind of shooting blind. So Aidan's done a little bit of some different things, because he sells products on Amazon, but they also do something as well. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, Aidan?
Yeah, so as you kind of alluded to there, one of the big issues that we've had selling on Amazon is just the ability to track if you're sending paid traffic from outside of Amazon, like from Facebook, for example. And I think one of the easy solutions that everyone can kind of leverage is to create your own brand website. You could do it on Shopify, you could do it on WordPress, any platform that you want. But the beauty of doing that is that all of a sudden you can track multiple different things that could happen. Like you could track the sales, and you could also tie that to specific audiences. So one of the things, to give you an example, get the imagination kind of flowing here, let's say that you're selling a product related to travel. With Facebook right now, and this is quite new, you can target several different interests. So you could say, I only want this ad to be shown to people who like American Airlines and United Airlines and Delta Airlines, and you could kind of target several different interests at once, and that kind of ensures that you're getting the most targeted traffic. So that's like the first step. But then taking that one step further, you can then track absolutely everything, because you've got your own website. So you can find out, okay, which is the age demographic that is converting best. Is it men or is it women? Where are they located? You could have several different ads running, 3 different images, and you find out which one of them is the one that's kind of converting. So that's one of the strategies that we're leveraging. One
of the things that you mentioned there too is you talked about audiences, and so as you guys know, one of the big things that Daniel and I talk about is the platform is important in where you're selling, but one of the most important things you can do is actually build an audience. Now that audience could be a Facebook page, it could be an email list, it could be a retargeting list, any of these things. But what's interesting is you start to drive more traffic, you actually start to create your own audience. And can you maybe talk a little bit about the difference in what you guys are doing to kind of create these audiences? And
so first of all, we recommend that everyone puts a retargeting pixel on the website. So every single visitor that comes to your website, whether or not they buy from you the first time, they can start to populate a retargeting audience, which you can then run ads to over and over again. So maybe they don't buy the first time, maybe they see your ad a second time or a third time, and they buy. So that's,
and real quick, just in case you guys don't know, a retargeting pixel is just a very simple piece of code that then will basically place this pixel, and it will allow you to show your message again to this person when they're either on maybe Facebook, or sometimes even if you're on a big news site like CNN, you could retarget people there, and then they'll see your ad, which you can send them back to your product.
So and just taking that one step further, when you have got your own website, you can launch, let's say you're selling a money belt for traveling. You can launch your money belt for traveling. You can start selling it on your own website, run some Facebook ads, get some sales coming in, get some profit coming in, and when you're doing this, you can actually build up like an email list or a database of all the buyers. So maybe in month 1 you might do 100 sales. And you get 100 email addresses, names, addresses, phone numbers, everything of these people that have purchased on your site. If you want to transition that into like an Amazon strategy, then you've got a huge advantage on day one, because you can you've got 100 previous buyers, you can email them and get them to buy your next product or whatever it may be, and you can have 50 real reviews, or 100 maybe, in the first couple of weeks. So you can kind of catapult to the top of Amazon. That's something that's worked for us quite well, and how we're able to kind of merge Facebook with your own site with Amazon into a kind of a three-pronged strategy.
It's a hybrid approach.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's certainly a lot of power in doing kind of that hybrid approach. One of the other things that people start to perceive in this process is like, oh, well, it's going to be hard for me to set up my site. It's going to be hard for me to do Facebook ads. There's all these moving parts. Do you find that it's actually much more simple than someone would imagine to just get a site up, or you're not spending $5,000 to develop this website?
Oh, no, completely not. I mean, we've got loads of examples of simple WordPress websites which you can install with just a few clicks. And then Facebook advertising is something that scares people sometimes as well, because it's perceived as being like this ninja complex thing, when in reality Facebook's platform has evolved a lot, and it's simple. Some of the ads that we start running start off with budgets of just a couple of bucks a day, and if you're selling a money belt, you might be spending $2 a day, and you optimize your ad, and then eventually you start scaling that up. So you're spending $2 a day, but you're selling one of these money belts, which might be $10. You start making a profit, and then you scale from there. So I think complexity of the system in general, complexity of setting up the websites is pretty much a non-issue now. It's certainly a lot easier now than what it was 3 months ago or 6 months ago. A year ago it was a completely different beast.
Yeah, I think honestly, I mean, people tell us this all the time, and we've developed some sites for people that want nicer looking sites. Our team has helped them do that. But I think it's better to just get something up and start testing some traffic to it than to not do anything at all. And you don't have to make it extremely beautiful. You just need to get something there and continually improve it. Aidan, I'm just curious. One kind of last question here. What would you say has kind of been, you sell on Amazon, you sell on your regular stuff. For someone kind of transitioning over, what would you perceive maybe be the initial kind of biggest challenge, or maybe like the thing that they might be afraid of most that you can just kind of clearly knock out? It's not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah. So I think there are a couple of things. A lot of people who, especially if you're already selling on Amazon, it can a lot of people have the perception that it's a lot of work to set up one of these websites, when in reality it might take 20 minutes at the most, because if you're using WordPress, there's a lot of pre-made templates which you just press an installation button and it's there. And if you've got a couple of products, it might take 1 or 2 minutes to add them and you're done. Shopify's the same. And if there are ever any issues, there's always a contact support number with something like Shopify, and they'll just do it for you essentially. So I think a lot of people don't do it because they get too comfortable on Amazon, or they just think it's going to be a lot of work, big learning curve, when in reality it's quite a simple process that you could do in 10 or 20 minutes. I guess that's the first thing. And then a lot of people maybe don't do it because they don't realize the upside of doing it. I mean, the reality is, this is something that we've seen, you always get more sales, and it's quite easy if you've even just got one product. If you build a one product e-commerce store with just that one product on it, then you can increase your profit by maybe a couple of $1,000s per month quite easily. And considering it takes 20 minutes to set the site up, and maybe another 20 minutes to set a simple ad campaign up, it's...
And oftentimes, I mean, we've seen it where people are selling, $50,000 a month or say on Amazon, and like, oh, I'm doing really well here, why would I set it up? Well, as soon as they set it up, they start making sales there, because they're not even doing any advertising. They're people who are searching for them end up going to Google or end up going other places and looking, and then they find their site and end up buying there as well. It's a second means to get the sale. It's
almost like you're leaving money on the table if you don't do it.
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure you just mentioned it. You set one of these websites up, even if you don't do any Facebook ads or any kind of ads at all, you do get people searching for you. And a lot of people would rather buy off your brand website than on Amazon. I don't know why that is, but sometimes it happens. Even I do this. I recently bought a suitcase, and I did my research on Amazon, but then I went to Samsonite.com to actually buy it. I don't know why I did that, but I did it. Maybe because I wanted to be working directly with the brand, so if I had any issues, I'd be able to resolve them. So people do use the brand websites as well.
For sure. Well, hopefully you guys found some value in this. We're going to be doing some more things like this in the future and just kind of talking about this hybrid approach, because I think there's a lot of value in coupling the idea of both selling on Amazon. You can't neglect the fact that Amazon has these hundreds of millions of customers and just all of this traffic in the US market as well as international, but also I think you can't really neglect the fact that there's so much opportunity off of Amazon, particularly if you're just getting started and maybe your budget is low to kind of get that inventory initially. There's lots of different things you can do to kind of help yourself out. So again, hope you had value in this. Thanks a lot, Aidan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, always a pleasure, and I look forward to getting on camera and doing some more things with you one of these days soon.
Awesome. We'll see you guys later.
See you guys.